What's up, guys? It is Kelvin Kately here from BCP Plus Senior Editor, here with a tag team that doesn't really need an introduction. But to give you a little bit of rundown, they are the three-time TNA Tag Team Champions, five heavyweight championships between the both of them, TNA, and legendary status, man. The one and only, the Hardy Boys. Guys, thank you very much for your time. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Doing well. Really excited about Genesis coming up on Sunday, January the 19th. It's a first-time ever match. It's going to be the Hardys versus the Rascalz. And the Rascalz grew up idolizing us. And now they're stepping into the ring with their idols. And we're stepping into the ring with almost a mirror reflection of the young us. So it's going to be really exciting.
You guys, you just hit on something, Matt, with one of my first questions. I was going to dive right into your influence and your longevity and your identity. You guys have had such a career operating at a high level as a tag team. What's kept you hungry? What's kept you motivated? Most importantly, what's kept you guys wanting to smoke from all of these younger tag teams that seem to be mirror versions of yourselves?
I think we both grew up as young kids in the middle of Podunk, North Carolina, right? And we didn't have any connection to the wrestling business. We were very passionate. We loved pro wrestling. They were living, breathing superheroes, and it's what we wanted to do. And our goal was to win one World Tag Team Championship somewhere. Hopefully at the time of the WWF is where we wanted to win it. And obviously we exceeded that greatly. We went many, many times over across the board. We're right now 13-time World Tag Team Champions together. So that's been really cool. I think as we've gotten older, we still feel good. We love this. It's more than a job. It's something that we are passionate about. And for us to be able to give back and help the younger talent, which a lot of the veterans didn't do back in our day. When we were starting in the 90s, they weren't so generous, So we feel it's important for us to give back, to be in there with younger teams and give them a rub, try and use our star power to help elevate them. And while we do that, it also makes us seem cool and current because these younger teams help us have better matches as well.
I think personally, Cameron is rich in life, love, antiques, and we are two humans that are on our way to being antiques, but we're not antique yet.
I like that. Yeah. Keep the spirit youthful. It makes you youthful.
Amen.
I love that. Amen. I love that. So speaking of your influence and Camden, North Carolina is synonymous with pro wrestling. How has that shaped where you guys are in your career as you look at where you want to be now, and how does that keep you level as you keep going forward?
Man, we saw Ricky Morton a little while back, and I always kind of still mark out for the Rock and Roll Express. They were but then the Rockers came along. But when we were kids, man, I was 12 years old in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We went to a show. Our dad took us, and Sting came out, neon green tights, blonde hair, cool face paint that matched the tights. And I reached out and I was able to touch him on the shoulder. And I looked back and his sweat was on my hand. I was like, oh my God, I want to make somebody feel like he made me feel someday. And amen that I've been able to do that, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, man, we're so blessed. We're so blessed to be competing at the high level we can still compete at after being in this business for 33 years. And to go out and mix it up with a young team, especially a young, athletic, acrobatic team like the Rascalz is going to be fun, because it really is like we are facing ourselves from 25 years ago. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, they are. I've seen them live in person, and the first thing that I've got was they reminded me of the Hardys. So we look forward to Genesis. What is the thought going into that match? What are you looking to do in that match at Genesis?
Well, I think as we're going into this match to defend the titles against these guys, I think we want to give them a great match. I think they want to give us a great match. I think it's very much a mutual admiration society. Both teams have respect for one another. But I think at the end of the day, we have learned enough tricks with all of our experience how to shut down people who are the risk takers, who are the high flyers, because we've had it done to us so many times over the course of our careers. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut them down, and we're going to keep them in our corner, and we're going to hit them with our double teams. We're going to hit them with our big moves, and we're going to beat them.
Awesome, man. Awesome, Jeff.
Yeah, I have been watching a lot of footage, a lot of Rascal matches, and they're faster. It's obvious, but they're not stronger, and I don't think they're smarter. We might be on the same page when it comes to being smart because they are smooth. But yeah, it's super cool to get in there and mix it up with guys that kind of looked up to us and guys that we hear all the time. Man, you were my childhood. We hear that all the time. And man, my mom was so mad at me for breaking the couch, and I broke my arm, and I just want to thank you for that. And I'm sorry, but yeah, it's going to be, and I think it might at Genesis, TNA Genesis 2025. It might be a first vibe of the new Genesis of the Hardys. So we'll see.
I like that. So let's go back a bit before I go overall. Let's go back a bit. One of my favorite versions of the Hardys period was in an old TNA, the broken gimmick. How has that? How have you guys reinvented yourself so much? But it's a fan favorite character for both of you guys. How have you allowed that to just exist in a world, but still be the Hardys in all of that?
I mean, evolution in pro wrestling is paramount, right? I mean, you'll if you have a good show you love, like for instance Breaking Bad or The Wire or whatever it may be, like once these characters do the same things over and over and over again, it gets repetitive. You can have these characters that you love so much in The Wire, maybe Omar, in Breaking Bad, Heisenberg, whoever it may be. And like these series only last so long, 5 seasons, 6 seasons, whatever it may be. In pro wrestling, we've been doing this for 33 years, and we go all year long. So that's 33 seasons of a year-long season, so you have to change. That's something that's very important, to stay fresh. Still, at the end of the day, you are the core essence of Matt and Jeff Hardy. The people that first the people that first fell in love with you when you were the high-flying guys who were doing the ladder matches, the table matches, the TLC matches, and all that. But you can add different layers onto it. And I think that's what we did whenever we did the whole Broken Universe. And I was Broken Matt and Brother Nero. And he was so essential to the whole thing, especially in playing the role, because like we were going to join back together and we didn't know if it was going to be as good guys or bad guys. But we hoped it'd be good guys. Unfortunately, that's how it worked out. And then like it became the hottest thing in the business at that time, which led to that amazing WrestleMania 33 return where, there were tens of thousands of people going delete, 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 delete when we showed up as a surprise at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, I was going to say I had no idea what Matt was going to do. He just said, "You can hit me with a big swanton." And I think I'm just going to dye a blonde streak in my hair, and I'm going to be different. And I had no idea what we all were in for as wrestling fans, and it was just incredible. And I was so envious of him because you got the suck it, you got the yes. You got all these cool things that wrestlers do, and the crowd gets hooked on doing them. Matt had created his own, and when we went back at Mania and people were out there going delete, 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 I was like, man, that is something special.
Yeah, it is, and it still rings true. So when you guys come out, you still hear those delete, delete, delete chants, and it's pretty awesome to see still. But let's go forward now. I mentioned earlier you guys are 3-time TNA tag team champions. How has this third reign, compared to your previous reigns, and how is it special to you in this regard?
I think this one is very special and probably the most important run of our lives, of our careers, just because it is nearing the end and we're older, and that's what makes it a lot more special in my opinion, because amazingly we feel pretty good to be 47 and 50 years into this human life, and we got to give credit to ice baths. I turned Matt onto the ice baths, and I never look forward to doing one, but I look forward to getting it over with because I feel so good when I get that ice bath over with in the mornings, and it has been so beneficial for my skeleton, my muscles, my body in general. And so yeah, I feel like this is going to be one, if not the best run of our careers.
I think too, this is probably one of the more precious runs of our career because this meant so much to us. We were at AW for a while, and it felt kind of like we were in limbo there in many ways. And then once we were here, we were put in a position to succeed, and we worked hard and we earned those titles. And I feel like in TNA in the past, we've never actually dropped the titles to anyone else. The first time we lost them. We had to forfeit them because he had broke his leg. And the second time, I think as we were teleporting through all of space and time, the gay stole them. It's because we had left and went to WWE. But it's one of those times where we want to have a proper title reign. We want to go through and then hopefully try and build somebody at the very end of it, whenever it's all said and done. But just the fact that we're older, we can still work at the level that we can, and the fact that we've just been so beloved. Like we have 2 hours, 3 hour meet and greets at the end of every show, which is just crazy, and it's so flattering and humbling that people still want to meet us and get an autograph, just sign a figure or take a photo with us, and that's so cool, man. Like our loyalty. The loyalty our fans have expressed to us is just unreal. That's why we call them our diehardies. You know, they truly are the best.
Yeah, I'm one of those fans, so it's been awesome to see. It's kind of like full circle for me. So like watching you guys and growing older and growing up, I actually kind of grew up with you guys in the business. So watching you now it's a joy to see, and I hope you guys are happy doing what you're doing. So. It's amazing to see.
It has been. We've both been very happy here. My wife said this a few weeks in after I'd been doing TNA initially, and this is before Jeff even came in. She said, "God, you just seem so much happier. Like when you go away and you come back, you just seem so much happier." And I have been. I've been very happy there, and they've treated us both very, very well.
Yeah, you can see it. And speaking of happiness, Jeff, you got a little too happy one time. I seen a clip of you singing "Shy," which I didn't know that was in your repertoire. How important has music been for you over the years, specifically, and what made you so happy that you wanted to sing that night?
We've already sang it once today. Just yeah. Someone else had requested that. So even I'm going to let Jeff answer this, but that was in the 90s. That was one of our favorite road songs. We were making these 8-9 hour trips, man, and like. I don't even think a lot of people know this. I mean, my first favorite music was rap. One of my favorite bands of all time is Public Enemy. Like I love it. That's 100%. I mean, I'll sit here and start rapping off Public Enemy songs nonstop. But I thought, like, when we were born, our mom died when we were young, and our dad raised us, and he was very much like get up at sunrise, work till sundown. He wasn't a very emotional guy, but he was a provider. You know, and we loved him for that. He made sure that we had clothes on our back and some food on the table to eat, and he made sure that we were taken care of. But man, we didn't hear a lot of music early on. We had that AM radio. Remember that? And they would our dad would listen to AM radio, the news and whatnot. Yeah. And then we heard a little poppy music. And then like once I heard some rap, I was like, oh snap, this is it. And that became my first favorite thing. But I'll let Jeff get into the shot stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, the first song I ever wrote, my genre, my first love of music was rap as well. And the first song I ever wrote, man, there was a line in it. I forget the name of the song, but there was a line in it during the chorus. I think it said, "I'm white as snow, but black in the soul." And this is when I was learning to dance. Wow. Yeah, and I was still thinking that could work in some new stuff today. But yeah, "Shy" has always been a fun song. There's one show that WWE put out. It was something about drive-alongs or something. But yeah. And me and Matt are in there. But that I still, every time I see that, I'm going, "Oh my God, that's where I need to be." Sonically, as a singer, that's my range. I just love the way that sounds. It's so modified and different. But that's a go-to song for us all the time, man. And singing it, oh my God, at Hog a few weeks ago was like super cool with Private Party. Yeah. The AEW champions were there. Us, the TNA champions, were both in the ring. So that was it was so cool. But music has been my more therapy than anything else for me. Like it's my journal entries. All my original music is just journal entries throughout my life, especially the dark personal times and all that stuff. It's been so like therapeutic for me, and that's never going to stop. But getting sober this last time, I have to admit, oh my God, I don't think I can sing really that good. What am I going to do?
I've heard worse.
But the interesting thing about that and finding my own range, I mean, there's something I just got to learn how to control it. Vocal lessons would really be good. I should do that if I ever can find time to take them. But yeah, I'm always going to do it. I just love translating what instrumentals tell me to write.
I love that. And now I got to ask, what's in your guys' playlist right now? What gets you hyped for a match?
I'm pretty big in. There's this old song by this band called "Bring Me the Horizon" called "Mantra." It's oh my God, I love that. But I love this band, Bring Me the Horizon, even Falling in Reverse, kind of into them. But yeah, overall, I think I listen to like my own stuff more than anything because I just want to improve. I'm always like trying to get better, and there's something really special with the connection of me and music, and I'm trying to figure out. That's why I keep just booking these live shows that I can sing in front of people, and it scares me, but I just keep booking them to get over that fear and to improve.
A couple songs that I would listen to get hype is Bring the Noise,
Okay.
Shut 'Em Down,
All right.
and there's a version of Pumped Up Kicks by Three Teeth, which is very hard. Foster the People do the original one, but this one is very hard, but it'll have you hype when you run through walls.
You know who? Somebody recommended that to me a while ago, and I listened to it. I was like, I forgot about it. And yeah, that is a hard song. It really is. It'll get you right in the feels real quick. I like that. I like that. Well, guys, I think that's all I got for you guys. But first and foremost, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. TNA Genesis, January 19th, Garland, Texas, Kurtz Caldwell Center. I hope to see you guys pull off something miraculous that night and give the crowd something really good to cheer for. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, one thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
We were talking about happiness earlier, man. In that tables match, when I put one of the system, which one, Eddie, I put Eddie through the table. Man, I was so happy, and it was so. It was identical to when I put Devon Dudley through that table at Madison Square Garden. The biggest difference was it was way more sketchy. The table was all diagonal and really scary. But after I did that and everything went good, I mean, that's what I live for, moments like that. So there's more to come.
Here you go, man. You want to join in on this real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
How low can you go? Whatever once again, that is the incredible. Remember the incredible. Keep on hearing me number one. Hey, I got numb. Get a jump there. Really never had a gun. We just flex to the Terminator X-Men. Never got me in a cell because my records they sell because the brother like me said, well, hey, that's a problem. And I think you want to listen to what he can say to you. What you want to do is for now. People say, hey, come here, go. Put the go back his back on and check it out. You know, come on, you get Johnny. Hey, yeah, you cut that both.
This was not on my bingo card. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. Thank you. Peace.
BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks Podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. Welcome back our sponsor, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank Leone, O'Neil Andros, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE-recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Connor McCollum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure with over 150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW wrestling pics and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at Jay Vogel on Facebook and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands, so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. Don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsors, ISPW Weekly, where we dive deep into the world of ISPW, the crossroads of professional wrestling. Join Jumpin' Jay and Total with Tom every week as they interview the stars of the ring, uncover their stories, rivalries, and the electrifying action that defines ISPW. Be sure to check out ISPW Weekly on the ISPW Facebook page every week. Please welcome in our new pod and daily site sponsor, Twisted Shamrock Studios and Spa, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Twisted Shamrock is a retro spa experience for the average Joe and Jane. Meet the next evolution of recovery and relaxation. Right now, you can try their introductory offer, where you can try a core service to include massage, skincare, facial, stretch therapy, body slimming, toning, personal training, and spray tanning for 30 minutes for just $30. This is perfect for our wrestling pals as well. Book today. Call 484-574-8868 or visit www.twistedshamrockstudiospa.com. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for 2025, the Ropes and Riffs podcast, featuring Maestro John Kiernan speaking with the stars of professional wrestling about their in-ring, tunage, gear, and so much more. Check out John's interviews with the likes of Lince Dorado, Mercedes Martinez, and so much more. Find the Ropes and Riffs podcast on all major podcast platforms. Guys, please welcome back our returning podcast sponsor, USDN. USDN podcast is run by USDN chairman and the Council of Nerds. We bring you all the latest news and rumors from the world of nerds and consolidate it right here at the U.S. Department of Nerds. USDN is for the people, by the people, and of the people. Follow them at facebook.com/US Department of Nerds.